Welcome to the deep dive. We basically go through interesting sources, articles, notes, that kind of thing,
Hmm.
and we pull out the really key bits of knowledge for you. The idea is to give you a shortcut, so you're genuinely clued in.
Yeah, cut through the noise.
Exactly. Spark some aha moments, maybe share a few surprising facts, keep it interesting.
And hopefully not too dry.
Hopefully not. So today we're diving into abundance, but maybe not how you usually think about it.
Right. Not just about getting stuff.
Yeah, more about living it
Oh.
and exploring why sometimes trying really hard to acquire things can leave us feeling, well, less abundant.
It's a paradox, isn't it?
It really is. And our guides for this are astrology, tarot, and this great old story.
All from Daily Balance, astrology, tarot, and the Circle of Stones.
That's the one specifically pulling from Tarot by High C.
Okay, got it. So our mission then is really unpacking what finding balance on any given day actually looks like.
Yeah, and how emotions flow, how we manage that.
And understanding abundance is something more than just money or possessions.
Right. We want to give you practical takeaways, but also some deeper stuff to think about.
Stuff that hopefully helps with that feeling of living abundantly.
Okay, let's dive in. Let's start with the stars. Astrological insights for July 1st, 2025.
Okay.
The main theme seems to be equilibrium might be hard to find.
Oh, interesting. Why is that?
Apparently, emotions get kind of filtered through logic. That's how the source puts it.
Okay. Head over heart, maybe?
Yeah, something like that. And it sets up this dynamic where morning's simple pleasures lead to evening's complex revelations about what balance truly costs.
Wow. Okay, so the day itself has an arc.
Definitely sounds like it. A journey within the day.
So these alignments, they're not just like predicting stuff, they're more like a map for the day.
That's a good way to put it.
So if it's hinting at emotions filtered through logic, it's sort of telling us to maybe use our rational side more, even if our gut is pulling us somewhere else.
Right, engage the brain, especially if things feel a bit confusing.
Could be useful for getting clear.
So let's look at the morning. We've got a Virgo moon trine Venus.
Okay, trines are generally good, right? Flowing energy.
Yeah, harmonious. The source describes this one as practical beauty, like efficiency meets elegance,
I like that.
where the small details of life suddenly shimmer.
That really connects back to what we were saying about balance, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Finding beauty in the practical, the everyday stuff.
It's
It's not always about big dramatic things. It's the well-made coffee, the tidy desks.
Small wins.
Yeah, those little moments of harmony. That's often where real balance is.
Okay, moving into the afternoon, things pick up pace. First, a Virgo moon trine Uranus.
Ah, Uranus. Expect the unexpected.
Pretty much, the source says unexpected delights. Could be fun,
Or disruptive, potentially. But maybe in a good way.
maybe. And then a big shift. The moon shifts into Libra.
Okay, that feels significant, Libra.
Yeah, the source links this to emotional breakthroughs and changes.
Right, because Libra is the sign of balance, relationships, harmony. So any breakthroughs are likely going to be around how we relate to others.
Seems likely, and how we're seeking that equilibrium with them.
Like fairness, working together, that sort of thing.
Makes sense. But then comes tonight.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the forecast gets a bit tricky. Libra moon opposite Saturn and Neptune.
Ooh, an opposition. That means tension, challenge, and Saturn and Neptune.
Yeah, it sounds intense. The description is vivid. Walking through a hall of mirrors where every reflection questions what you thought you knew.
Wow. Okay, disorienting.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It warns about stubborn obstacles and delays, things that mess with our attempts to find harmony.
And the Neptune adds confusion,
Huh?
miscommunication.
Exactly. Potential layers of confusion, miscommunication, and exhaustion. Sounds like a recipe for frustration by evening.
Okay, so if you find yourself in that hall of mirrors, what's the advice? How do you navigate that?
Good question. The source gives some really practical advice, actually. It says, focus on fixing things that are messy.
Like what kind of things?
Emails, closets, habits, things you can control.
Oh, okay. Tangible stuff.
Right. But crucially, not people.
That's wise. Don't try to fix other people when you're feeling overwhelmed.
Exactly. And if you are feeling emotionally restricted and confused, it advises allowing for downtime.
Just sitting with feelings.
Yeah, sit with our feelings and gain clarity around them. Manage what's actually in your court, basically.
Makes sense. Don't wrestle with the reflections. Just tidy your own space, literally or metaphorically.
Right. But there's a flip side for tonight, too. A Libra moon trine Pluto.
Okay, another trine. flowing energy again. Pluto. Transformation, power.
Yes, and this one offers the power to transform whatever confusion arose into profound understanding.
So even amidst the confusion and obstacles.
There's a potential breakthrough, a path to real insight.
So it's not just about getting through the tough stuff,
Yeah.
but about asking, okay, what's this confusion actually showing me?
Exactly. What's the lesson here?
About my values, or maybe my boundaries.
Could be. That discomfort might be where the real self-discovery happens.
So deep insight is possible, even when it feels really messy.
That's the potential, yeah. Always a deeper lesson.
Okay, so that's the cosmic weather forecast. Now, what about the tarot's perspective for the day?
Right, so the tarot gives us a more personal lens, looking inward. For July 1st, the card is the Six of Stones.
Okay, stones or pentacles.
Hmm.
Often about the material world, right? Resources, work, value.
Yeah, typically. So this card gets us thinking immediately. Are we giving freely or out of obligation?
And receiving?
Are we receiving with gratitude or with strings attached? Big questions.
Definitely. The Six of Stones often speaks to generosity, reciprocity,
Huh.
but also, like the source says, those often unseen dynamics of power.
Power dynamics in giving and receiving.
Yeah, who has more? Who feels indebted? It makes you look under the surface of exchanges.
And it really pushes us to think about that delicate balance beyond just money.
Right, not just cash.
It highlights time, attention, support, and emotional labor.
Which are huge.
Yeah,
Often more valuable than money.
totally. And it warns us to watch out for where imbalance has quietly taken root.
Yeah, it's easy for that to happen, isn't it?
Mm.
Thinking giving has to be some big gesture.
Mm-hmm.
But this really focuses on the everyday stuff, the non-material exchanges, like emotional labor. That's a big one where imbalance creeps in.
Absolutely.
Think about it, a friend who just listens when you need it, a colleague who really pays attention, someone handling a tricky family thing.
That's real currency.
It absolutely is. Those things build and sustain us, often way more than physical stuff.
Then the tarot source drops this really powerful line. True abundance is circular. When we let it flow, it grows.
Oh, I love that. It connects so well. Abundance isn't just about having, it's about flow.
Energy flow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When things like resources, love, kindness, when they circulate openly,
Everyone benefits.
both the giver and the receiver are nourished. It's not just poetic, it's like a practical truth.
So wealth can be found in just being present
Mm,
or compassionate.
yes. Presence, compassion, attention. That is wealth. What you put out comes back, maybe not directly, but it amplifies the energy.
Okay, this idea of circular abundance, it feels kind of old, like deep wisdom.
It is. It shows up in so many traditions.
Which brings us perfectly to our story segment.
Ah, story time.
Yes, an ancient tale called The Circle of Stones.
Mm.
Picture this. A deep forest, air shimmering with secrets, a hidden clearing.
Ooh, atmospheric.
And in the center, 6 smooth stones in a perfect circle, each marked with a zodiac glyph kind of pulsing faintly.
And the legend.
Said these stones balance the world's unseen exchanges: give, receive, forgive, ask, protect, release. All the big ones.
Wow. Heavy stuff. And who looks after them?
Enter Caelen, the keeper of stones. Wrapped in earthy robes, seen it all.
Okay.
Watched generations come and go, each soul bearing gifts and burdens in equal measure. He gets to the human condition, this constant dance of exchange.
The give and take.
Exactly. So one evening, first visitor arrives. A young girl with eyes the color of dusk sky. She's carrying just a single wildflower, and she whispers, "I have nothing to give, but I can offer this."
A simple offering.
Caelen kneels, takes it, and the Virgo stone at his feet glows softly.
And Caelen's wisdom here.
It's profound. He says, "A simple, heartfelt offering weighs heavier in the spirit's ledger than gold."
Ah, so it's the intention, the genuineness, not the material value.
Precisely, that's what resonates, what balances the circle.
Okay. Visitor number 2.
A weary man with hollow cheeks falls to his knees, says, "I come with need. My home is lost, my family scattered, I can give nothing." He's empty-handed, basically.
Total vulnerability. What does Caelen do?
Doesn't say a word, just places a coin of radiant light in the man's palm.
Wow. Pure gift.
And instantly, the Leo and Aquarius stones shine bright. The air feels thick with unseen threads of restored balance.
So Caelen giving isn't just charity, it's actively restoring balance by allowing the man to receive.
Exactly. It connects right back to the tarot insight about reciprocity, completing the circuit, making the flow possible again.
Sometimes allowing someone else to receive is the gift.
Yeah, and Caelen gives him this crucial instruction. Take, but remember this. When the wheel turns and fortune is yours again, Return to this place.
Okay.
Give, not to repay me, but to nourish the circle.
Yeah, pay it forward. Feed the system, not the individual giver.
Exactly. It reveals this eternal law, as the story puts it. What flows out returns, and what is withheld withers.
So good. It drives home that message.
Mhm.
True wealth isn't owned, it's shared.
Our own well-being is tied to the collective. Nourish the circle, and you nourish yourself.
Powerful stuff.
What a journey, huh?
Uh,
From the stars, through the cards, into this ancient story.
all pointing back to balance, giving, receiving.
Illuminating it from different angles, showing us how to maybe actually live abundance.
And it really highlights how practical this stuff can be. It's not just abstract, understanding these flows.
These subtle dynamics.
Yeah, it can genuinely impact your daily life, your relationships, how you feel overall, well beyond just one specific date like July 1st.
It's about seeing the energy in every interaction,
Mm-hmm.
every exchange. So the final thought for you, listening in, how might really paying attention to these subtle exchanges in your own life, the giving, the receiving, seen and unseen,
On any day.
right on any day,
Yeah.
how might that awareness fundamentally change how abundant you feel, how connected?
Beyond just the material stuff.
Yeah, making you feel richer in like presence, compassion, that true energetic flow we talked about.
Something to definitely mull over.
Definitely. As you step into your own circles, your own balanced exchanges,